let me just ask this question. Do you get hit on by your students?
Hey, I plead the fifth.
Speaking of posting your students on your videos, or rather featuring your students on your videos, like, do you need consent from their parents or from the teachers to share the videos that they are in? What's up, everybody? This is Kenya Online Media, your number one source of entertainment news. My name is Eve Nyaga, and today with me, I have this Kenyan teacher, TikToker, who has gone viral. And they're saying, mwalimu mwenye anapatia Kenyans sleepless nights. You know, she goes by the name Tabby Wathaya, right? Wathaya, yes. Hiyo jina mi sijui kwa nini. I think jina yangu iko, there's a name stuck in my head na haitaki kutoka. Anyway, how are you?
I'm doing well, Eve. How are you?
I'm also great. It's so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Okay, so let's just start with, a little background about yourself. Maybe you'll grow up, and is teaching something that you have always wanted to do? Before tuanze, introduce yourself.
Hi guys. So my name is Tabby Wathaya, a teacher on the weekdays and a TikToker on the weekends.
Yes. Yeah. All right, nice to meet you, Tabby. So tell us, how did you get into teaching?
How did I get into teaching? Well, I'd say my mom had an influence with me ending up being a teacher, because before she retired, she was a teacher. And I specifically am a history and CRE teacher because of my former history teacher. I loved that woman, and she loved us as well. So I really wanted to be a teacher just like her, a teacher who teaches other people's lives the way she touched mine. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so tell us where you studied, just to get into teaching. And is that something, okay, you've already said that you wanted to teach history just like your teacher.
Yeah. So I'm a graduate of the University of Nairobi. Yeah. Yeah, so huko ndo nilisomea education. Yes.
Okay, all right. So now that teaching was something that you wanted to do, so ulianza na level gani ya kufunza? Tunaanzanga na primary school, not as nursery school, primary, secondary. So where did you start?
Okay, so I did a bachelor's of education in history and CRE. So I started with high school. Yes.
All right. History, you've said that that is something that you wanted to teach because your history teacher touched your life. Maybe tell us how she did that.
So, okay, her name was Mrs. Simbiko. May her soul rest well. Okay, when Mrs. Simbiko used to teach us, to be honest, alikuwa anakufunza, haone ni kama anakufunza, like ni story anakupea. So you as the student, you're just consuming content without even realizing that you're consuming content. And aside from that, this lady took a personal interest in our lives. So if you had any problems, she was so welcoming. She would listen to us. She would offer us great advice. She was so motherly towards us. So that's why she inspired me. Yeah.
All right. So do you do the same for your students?
I hope so. I try to be as close as possible while still maintaining professional distance. But I honestly do try. I try and tell my students that they always have a friend in me. If they need to confide in me, I'm there for them. If they have any issues, they can come, we discuss it, tuone venye tunaweza saidiana. Yeah, I do try.
Yes. Okay. Getting into teaching, kukua mwalimu, it's not the easiest thing. It is not the easiest thing, because I remember vile tulikuwa tunaingilia walimu, like we would talk about them behind their backs. It's natural for students. So do you get the same, and how do you deal with that?
Venye tu umesema, it's natural for students. Not only students, I feel like everyone talks about everyone behind their back to some extent. Yeah, so unazoea tu. Yeah, unazoea tu.
Okay, unafunza shule gani kwanza hujatuambia?
Currently nafunza shule inaitwa Rungere High School. It's in Kiambu County and Kabete Sub-County. Yeah.
Tuseme tu kweli. You are such a beautiful, beautiful woman, right? Very beautiful. And your content pia, it's, you do a lot of fashion content. So how does that, sit with the teachers, and how does it work out?
Okay, first of all, thank you. As in coming from a pretty lady, it means a lot.
Oh, thank you.
So, okay, when it comes to fashion content, there are those teachers who, hawana shida with how I dress. And personally, I don't feel like there's a problem with how I dress. I feel like I'm dressed professionally. But a lot of, I'd say, and sorry to say, but a lot of older teachers, they confuse decency, or rather they confuse being indecent with being fashionable. Yeah, because I feel like I am fashionable but I am not indecent. But kuko na venye hata mimi nikisoma kuko na venye nilikuwa nimezoea walimu wakivaa and haikuwa poa sana, so we are trying to change that. Teachers can be fashionable too. I mean, come on, we can be fashionable too. Yeah.
Your fashion sense is just on another level. So tell us a bit about that. Like before you started doing teaching content, you were doing fashion content first. Like were you hoping to become a fashion influencer as you're still being a teacher? Because that is what you were doing first before you started doing teaching content, right?
Yeah, okay, although I only posted like 3 videos. To be honest, I didn't post those videos with the intention of being a fashion influencer. I was posting them. Naweza sema aje. Unajua wanafunzi walikuwa wananipa pressure. Like my students were pressurizing me
To post the content?
Yeah. Sasa nikashanga, yeah, walikuwa kini pressurize. So nikashanga sana nitapost nini, like I cannot be a lifestyle influencer because I feel like my life is boring. So what do I post? And specifically a student called Ronnie Gashomba. Shout out to Ronnie. But this is all thanks to you because he was my number one, naweza sema pusher. Yeah. So at first nikaanza kuzipost hizo as a way of, maybe trying to get into the space. And then later on nikaanza kupost content ya walimu and I fell in love with it. And I feel like a lot of Kenyans, those who support me online, also fell in love with that type of content. Yeah.
What video did you do ya kwanza, or rather which video did you do that ilifanya watu wakakujua more, especially yo walimu?
Okay, I'd say the first video that went viral was when I partook in a challenge. The song by Saru, Brandy Maina, the Men Can
Lie.
Yeah, so I was there with my students who had just completed the last paper ya physics, form 4 ya KCSE. So I was there telling them that, men can lie. And that was the first video that went viral.
Unajua students ni watu funny sana. Na najua at some point, like every other teacher has a nickname. So, wewe unajua nickname yako ni gani?
Okay, najua ya kitambo.
Kwani kuna ngapi?
These kids, they keep reinventing you. So I only know the old name. Yeah.
Which is?
Walikuwa wananiita Slay wa TikTok. Yeah.
At least you're si mbaya sana.
Hata ndo nilikuwa nikisema, thank God. Mjanipe nickname ingine hapo mbovu. Yeah.
So, as at now, how many schools have you taught?
I've only taught 2 schools. Yeah. Yeah, only 2.
So is that a privilege or that's a bad thing?
I'd say it depends with what you want. For me, that's what I wanted. So there's the first school where I was posted officially by TSC. And then after completing 5 years there, I asked for a transfer. And then now I shifted to the current school.
You've taught, the first school was a boys' school or a girls' school?
It was a mixed day. Yeah.
What about the school you're teaching now?
A mixed day.
So, Yani, I know you have a problem with, let me just ask this question. Do you get hit on by your students?
Hey, I plead the 5th.
Aya, do you get hit on by your fellow teachers?
I think hiyo ni lazima. Hakuna, is there a workplace that people don't get hit on? Hakuna, yeah.
Hey, okay, you are students. It's a tough one.
Hiyo ni tiko tough.
Lakini utaniambia after hii.
Nitakwambia after hii.
All right, so as a teacher, there are things that hatuko tumezoea kuona, you know. Teachers, in fact, teachers like you tumeanza kuwaona na wewe, or maybe one of those very stylish teachers that we used to have back in school. Na ni moja out of 50, right? So hatujazoea kuona walimu wako na stiletto nails, hatujazoea kuona walimu wako na tattoos. Does that like inafanyanga watu wanakuwa na bias na wewe as a teacher?
Definitely yes. There are those who embrace it. They are like, you know what, keep going. Kwa sababu walimu, they can also look good, so keep going. And then there are those who are like, mwalimu hafai kuwa na makucha refu. As in, what do my nails have to do with me teaching? Yeah, it's like saying I can't have long hair because I'm a teacher. There is no correlation. Yeah. So there are those who support it and there are those who do not.
What about the tattoos? I'm a tattoo lover myself, so I love your tattoos.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so for the tattoos, to be honest, I don't show my tattoos at school. Yeah, I'm always in long sleeves when I'm in school. Yeah, because unajua, with tattoos, there is a way they grab people's attention. So singetaka kuwa class ninafunza and the students are concentrating on the art on my body. Yeah, so I'm always in long sleeve. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. By the way, I think right now when I think about all the videos I have seen from you in school, sijaona mali umevaa a short sleeve, anything short sleeve.
Yeah, I don't. I keep my tattoos covered.
But they know that you have them. Do they talk about them in class?
Okay. Yeah, kwanza when you're teaching specific topics in CRE, they'll ask about them. And I make sure I give them the best advice to my knowledge about them. Yeah.
So ushaipatana na student ako na tattoo?
Hapana, sijawahi patana na student ako na tattoo. And by the way, I normally tell them, like, that is not the right time. Yeah, you should wait until you at least 23. Kwa sababu, you know, you might end up getting a tattoo because of peer pressure. Na unajua pia having tattoos has its disadvantages. Unaona kama mimi sasa, it limits what I wear to work. Yeah, and plus there's a way people view you. As much as I'd say we are taking steps in the right direction in terms of, you know, we are not profiling people with tattoos as much, but bado iko. So I normally tell them you need to wait. You need to be a full-grown adult who knows what they want, yeah, and to understand the repercussions of actually getting these tattoos.
But you don't regret any of them now that umesema there are places actually wezi you can't show them.
Yeah. No, I don't. In fact, I regret not having more. But I don't regret having them.
So season ya jua time kuna jua, what do you do?
I wear long sleeves, like uko na shati long sleeves. So na nimezoea. So I'm not usually uncomfortable. Nimezoea.
Right. What do the other teachers think about your content? Do they talk about it? Do some of them want to get featured in your videos?
Yes, I have very nice colleagues. They are extremely supportive, I would say. And they do enjoy watching my videos. They even share my videos. Yeah. So, yeah, and some of them actually have featured in my videos. Yeah, so you might think somebody is a student, lakini
Allah.
yeah. Kumbe si mwanafunzi. Yeah.
Okay. Now that you have been teaching in mixed schools, what is the difference between engaging with young men, and engaging with young ladies? Like, how do you strike a balance between the two?
Okay, so, you know, there's a way you can relate with females. As a female teacher, and especially I'd say as a young female teacher, there's a way I can relate to the girls that I cannot relate with the boys. Because, you know, you'd be accused of, you know, some form of sexual harassment. So even if you pay attention to my videos, the ones that feature students, with girls, only one has male students. The rest are with female students. And that is for a reason. Because, you know, I wouldn't want to be told that, you know, I am conducting myself around young men in a certain manner. Yes. So with my girls, I tend to be closer to the girls, of course, because again, as a female, I understand more of what they are going through. Yes, but I'm still close with my boys as well. Ni venye tu kukona mipaka siezi pita. Yeah.
Speaking of posting your students on your videos, or rather featuring your students on your videos, like, do you need consent from their parents or from the teachers to share the videos that they are in?
Yes, you need consent. You don't want to be sued. You need written consent. And before I post videos featuring any student of mine, and sai naongea na walimu, you for sure need consent. And according to the Digital Act of 2019, you for sure need consent. You'll end up being sued. In fact, we have seen schools being sued for the same.
Just recently, there was this school that was sued for using their, like, they used a child's image for a billboard, and they were sued for a lot of money.
Yeah, I think it was in fact 4 million. Yeah, so I have to seek permission from parents. Yeah, and the parents are so supportive. In fact, a lot of them comment under my videos, teacher, keep it up, teacher, salimia mtoto wangu. So yeah.
Nice. Does the way you look affect, your relationship with students by any chance?
In what sense?
Like, maybe unajua, me, I remember we used to have this teacher who was very beautiful. Yani akiingia class, yanda uskizi unaka tumemwangalia because of how pretty she was. Do you find students zoning out?
But I thought zoning out kiwa high school ni normal. It's not. Yeah, I mean I feel like they zone out not because of how I look, but because mtu ako London, wewe ukiwa hapo unamwambia kuhusu Vasco da Gama. Ashaenda. But we.
Are you a tough teacher?
I'd say I think I've found balance between being tough and being fun. Yeah, so when need arises, I'm tough. Usipofanya kazi yenye nimekupatia, I'll be tough. But I usually make it a point because first of all, corporal punishment was abolished. So you deal with a lot of, you punish rather. I usually make it a point to tell my students, nikikupunish na kuambia, unajua ni kwa nini nakupunish? Kwa nini nakupunish? Yeah, I have to ensure that you understand why I am punishing you. Ndio usiseme ati, wewe unanionea, na sikuonei, nakusaidia.
So there was this video that was posted by Nairobi Gossip Club, that your video, ukisema what you're listening to, uki-invigilate paper ya chemistry, and it went viral. So how did you feel about that? Has that affected you in any way, positively, negatively?
Okay, it felt good. So thanks to Nairobi Gossip for posting my video. So it felt good. When you go viral, if that's as long as, okay, may I believe this, if you're a content creator, your intention is to go viral. That is what you want, So the fact that Nairobi Gossip reposted my video, it felt good, of course, yes.
Right. So speaking as a content creator, where do you hope to take your content creation journey?
Wow, that's a good question. Where do I hope to take my content creation journey?
And then you see, hatujapatana na, I even don't think there's another teacher. There's another teacher, but she teaches younger kids. I think the kids in nursery ama primary school. Anaitangwa teacher Priscilla, if I'm not wrong.
Teacher Sila. We love teacher Sila. Yeah.
So we haven't seen a lot of teaching content, ama content kama yako yenye, you're merging fashion and teaching. So it's something really unique. So that is why I'm wondering, what are the plans?
Hey, honestly, mimi hata nisikudanganye. There are no plans. I'm taking it a day at a time. Kwenye itanipeleka, who knows? I might end up being the Cabinet Secretary of Education and Fashion. Yeah, who knows? So, acha tu nichukue tu a day at a time. Nikianza kufikiria hivyo, I think I'll overwhelm myself so much. Na staki pressure. I do it because I enjoy it. So staki kujipea pressure.
Okay. So easy TikToks zenye unafanyanga. What time do you do the TikToks? In between breaks, jioni, weekends?
So the videos I normally I shoot them after 5:20. Shule yetu lessons huisha 5:20, like yeah. So at sorry, after 5:20.
All right. Other than kuwa mwalimu wa CRE history, there is that other thing that a teacher has to do. Maybe you're a teacher, you're in charge of drama. Are you in charge of any clubs?
No, but I was recently appointed as an assistant coach for volleyball by our games HOD. Yeah, sijui aliona nini kwangu, but I think
My question is, uko sure utaweza kugonga ball na nails? Because me hata siwezi karibia. Siwezi, I would never get near a ball with long nails.
With long nails. No, but you see, well, Jonah, like coaches, wa kama the WNBA, those lady coaches, they look like us, like their nails. They don't hit the balls themselves. So there's a way I feel like you can coach without actually hitting. Yeah, ama labda ni kwa sababu niko na sauti kubwa. I'm there for moral support. Yeah. So maybe that's why niliekwa hapo. Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about being a teacher?
My favorite thing is that relationship with students. Kwa sababu, I'll tell you for free, there is no boring day when you're a teacher. Any hakuna, because you meet up with so many personalities every single day. Yeah, so, and the fact that, to be honest, when you're a teacher, you directly influence somebody's life. The way Mrs. Simbiko influenced mine. Yeah, so I'd say that is definitely my favorite part about being a teacher. That relationship with your students and the fact that kuko na mwanafunzi mwenye, whether you know it or not, they rely on you for so much. Yeah.
Okay. Do you genuinely enjoy being a teacher?
I love my job. I love my job. I enjoy my job. The only thing I don't enjoy ni kuamka mapema when you're on duty. I'm sure teachers, they feel me on this. Hiyo tu ndo huwa inanibo. Yeah. But otherwise, I love my job. Yeah.
All right. What's your in the journey of being a teacher? Nini yenye truly melts your heart, and maybe just one instance, because I remember there's this video you did saying that you're doing like a dance, celebrating when that one student who was falling behind picks up.
Yeah, definitely. That's one of the joys of being a teacher. Kwa sababu you might have a student in class wewe unaona potential yake. Ye haoni. But you as a teacher, you can see that this student definitely has potential. So after, trying to talk to them, when you gift them, whenever they improve, and then sasa unaanza kuona, ameanza kuinuka. Aki, for sure, you're happy. Yeah.
Right. Maybe you have a word to the parents watching this video. Tell them something about teenagers, a word of advice that you've been wanting to pass that message.
Okay, so a word of advice to the parents watching this. I would tell you that times have changed. For sure, times have definitely changed. Si wakati wenye ama ni si ile time ulikuwa teenager wewe mwenyewe. I don't teach Kiswahili, so forgive me. Yeah, so these teenagers are exposed to so much more. They are exposed to so much more. So I would tell you as a parent, kalisha mtoto wako chini. Have a conversation. In the African culture, there's a certain taboo that, a parent is not supposed to talk about certain topics with their teenagers. But no, we have to change that. Yeah, sex education, especially coming from the parent, is very important. As teachers, we try and do our part. But as parents, we also urge you to do your part. Talk to them about, sex. Talk to them about drugs and alcohol. Yeah, tafadhali. Yeah.
You've spoken about speaking to the teenagers about sex and alcohol. Do you do that?
Lazima. I feel like my students can attest to this. I feel like for every lesson, kuko na dakika za guidance and counseling zenye I have to say something about certain topics. You have to keep reminding them. Yeah. Especially like being a somewhat young teacher, I feel like the message, wow, they listen. Imagine they listen. Yeah. kuko na moja ama wawili watasema sasa huyu anasema nini, but for sure there is somebody who listens. So as teachers it is very important to do so. So I always ensure I do.
Okay, anything else you want to add on to what we've talked about?
Not really. Yeah, unless I plug myself.
Please do.
Yes, so please follow me on TikTok. My handle is Tabby Wathaya. On Instagram, Tabby Wathaya. And I recently started a YouTube channel that is called Classroom Chronicles KE. Yes, so please go follow me on that as well.
What is Classroom Chronicles about?
So, okay, I haven't posted any video as yet, but the aim of this YouTube channel is to discuss everything related to the class, the challenges that we face in the class, the challenges that students face, challenges that teachers face, challenges that, kuko na so many stakeholders in education. Yeah, so it basically is to address the classroom and all the stakeholders.
Okay, thank you so much for making time to talk to us.
Thank you so much, Eve. This interview was so nice.
You're welcome. All right, so you have heard from, the viral teacher herself, Tabby. Manze, she is amazing at what she does. So enda pale on TikTok, enda pale on YouTube, and let's show her some love. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. See you next time.